Welcome to this episode of For the Culture Podcast, soccer podcast for us, by us. Let's talk about the intersection of Black culture and soccer. What am I doing on this side? Like, this just feels weird. Anyway, got your boy here, Grego here. Got the team here. Like, I need to apologize for y'all first real quick. It's like, yeah, I got the booster last week, and nobody told me like how much it puts you on your ass. Like, it just, ooh.
Take your soul.
I got yeah.
It's a bigger dose. They don't tell you that. I was almost on the floor.
Ooh, I tried to go to work next day, and I was like, oh, big mistake.
You're weak, man. You're weak.
The man over here questioning my toughness is Coach Tony over here.
I had to too, man. And you gotta remember, I had a Johnson first. I was one of those that survived the Johnson joint.
You got the wish. You got the wish.
Yeah, and then I told you right now, I'm just trying to collect my Infinity Stones or my vaccine stones, whatever we doing now. So I'm just collecting them all. Hopefully, I just do my thing.
Wait, Pokemon? You collecting? Wait a minute, stop.
Hey, I'm collecting them like Infinity Stones. That's all. I'm just trying to power up. That's all.
Oh man, down below me is Sky from Shea Butter FC. What's good, lady?
Living good, feeling good out here.
That is a nice array of hoodies you got back there.
I know, right? You see a variety. Ooh,
yes,
you see things that you could have bought. You see things that are in the future. You're in the future.
Yes. And of course, down here across from me is the boss in charge, Ty Billions. What's up? What's good, man?
Good, man. We here. We are very tired. But we're here.
Yeah. it's of course things about to get going for y'all back at the home base. I know like the kids are coming out next week, and just go ahead and just slide one down here to Atlanta. Get that gold down here.
Do y'all want me to send y'all one down there and let you pimp it out?
Hey, I will. So we're gonna talk about this. We're gonna talk about this and before we get to our guests. But yeah, like I just got a big boy heat press. So like
when we release, I will get one in your hands.
Yeah, so for everybody that goes up on the store, get your name sets right for the season. Like we might even set these up to where like if you really want to, you can just send us your jerseys and we'll press it and basically like a one-stop shop. Don't look at me like that, Scott, because I'm still waiting for you to just show off your heat, because you've been having like good heat for like almost a year now.
Why you gotta put the time frame? You could have just said you could have been mad and ready to go off on me, but yeah.
I get emotional about it, but yes, so we'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, man, it's of course we were off last week. Of course, we got a amazing guest this week. We got the noted comedian KevOnStage with us this week, and we guys, you gotta check it out because it's actually a really good interview that we had with him, and yeah, it's just been amazing to get a chance to chop it up with him. And I think we shocked Tony as far as like how much soccer he actually knew, because of course like before that, like we weren't sure if he was just just stunting for the gram or if he actually knew a little bit. Like you actually know a little bit.
I give him a lot more respect now, especially when he was describing. You'll hear about his chronicles with his son and the discovery of the positional, awareness and everything like that. So I'm impressed with his soccer knowledge.
Absolutely, it's a really good time on getting a chance to chop it up with him. Of course, we just had the finish of the AFCON finals. Senegal upset the. I didn't realize Egypt had won the tournament 8 times. I was like, yo, like they are just the kings of the tournament. But yeah. The game with the PKs, Senegal won on PKs, and yeah. What you got?
No, I mean it's kind of like poetic justice. I mean, Senegal lost the last one as well. Egypt has always been a perennial power that never has that translate to the big stages. So like it's kind of expected that they make it that far. But it was interesting this time because again you have the two teammates, Salah and Mane, kind of like going to each other early in the match. Obviously, like Senegal could have gone up the first penalty, and you see like Salah run over. Like,
yo, that was too funny. That was too funny because Mane went up to Salah went to the Egyptian keeper. Was like, yo, he goes left, like, yo, just yo, do this, like, you good? And like Mane, like, yo, bro, like, what, like, yo, why you selling me out, man? Like, hey, it's about the trophy, man. It's about the trophy.
and that's what makes me laugh because like, oh, sorry, Tony, you.
Oh no, go ahead. No, go ahead. I ain't about the man. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say it just made me laugh because like that teammate rivalry was there, and that's why I said that whoever like loses this game is gonna just come back with the fury to knock him out with the World Cup because like these storylines were there. Like you knew there's gonna be somebody getting an advantage because they're like, I know how that person plays, and that came to life for real. It's like, yep, y'all about to enjoy this cut, Senegal, but y'all about to possibly miss out on this World Cup because Salah's gonna be like, not this time.
Took that personally, like I got something for y'all.
I've got an unpopular opinion.
What's up?
Before even like any of that interaction happened or anything, what I wanted to see, because I'm such a hater, I was hoping that both Sadio and Salah would like pull up lame and both pull hamstrings, and so both of them are out the game, and so that Liverpool suffer for a few weeks. You know what I'm saying?
Oh God,
it's diabolical. He said the whole thing.
That is so
That's
intricate.
What I was saying out in my mind, like at the kickoff, they were like, my hamstring, and then like they both off the game, something like that, and that's what I was hoping for. But I guess
Now there was something I wanted to get with you about, because like I know if you saw like ESPN FC had it up on their socials, like where the Egyptian keeper had like a diagram on his water bottle, like, okay, like this player shoots on this side. I was like, yo, like the amount of scouting and just little cheat sheets that people have is absolutely hilarious. But yeah, like you just went that they went that far. It's like, hey, which way you want to go? Because yeah,
I mean, you're seeing all creative ways of keepers doing that now when it goes into PK situations. I can't remember who the keeper was a few years back, but during while they were getting their water breaks and everything like that, they were over on the sideline with their goalkeeper coach looking on the iPad right away as all the the trends of all the kick takers. And so I mean, the water balls, I've seen that multiple times. What I've seen also too is on the towel. So many keepers, when they go to the net, they put the towel on the side of the net or whatever. I've seen where the Sharpie has also been put on the towels as well. And there's all sorts of creative ways, and it's one of those things, like, it's cool to see the analytics of goalkeeping get to that level. But it's also even cooler to see that, like, the ways that they transfer that knowledge, because as goalkeepers, we're all ADD and ADHD like crazy, so we can't hold that in our memory banks.
That's why you had that motto. It was like, hey, okay. Just like get a sip, be like, okay, cool, we good.
Hey, next thing they're gonna get those QB armbands.
Yeah, that's what it'd be like. They'd be like,
okay.
I'm shocked those haven't been like, are they not allowed? I was like, yeah, that seems like that would be like the progression. Just have it just right here. Be like, oh, okay, we good.
I feel like there's a law against that. I feel like there is, but I gotta double check that one.
Well, speaking of laws, just to kind of switch back over here to ours, of course. First, before I do that, of course, shout out to Senegal. Like, if y'all saw like the scenes from like the celebrations, like from Dakar back home in Senegal, like even like there were parties out in the streets in Harlem, parties in Paris, like, yo, like, because of course this is their first AFCON trophy, so yeah, it was definitely a big deal for the whole culture, and yeah, like honestly, like again, this is like my first time watching the tournament in full. Like, yo, blown away blown away. And and of course we go right back at it next year. So like we'll like I said, I already can't wait for next year. But yeah, speaking of broken laws and broken temperatures and everything, we got to hit up the U.S. and their qualifying treks a couple weeks back. Just missed last week. Of course, they managed to take care of business out in Columbus. Did you get your stickers, Ty?
Yeah, I did. And you know what's funny is
now you can't find it.
No, they showed up at a part of the night that was full of festivities. Yes. I'm pretty sure the stickers came home with me. I need to go find them. Let's leave it at that. Oh, that's why I was like, I look at the photos the next day. I was like, nah, this is not going to socials. I was like, Grego, don't.
Oh God, the cameras this way, they're looking that way. I was like, oh man, like that, and of course, shout out to you, Donald and Antonio, for linking up. But yeah, like clearly that night before party was one for the ages. But yeah, like the weather was no joke during those 3 games, and my prediction did hold. We got 6 points. We won against El Salvador. Canada might be the best team in CONCACAF. I think that's pretty clear at this point. What's up?
I feel like I need to say this on this platform here. I was like so over the whole Berhalter out after that match because I felt that was a bunch of the whole like U.S. supremacy talk, because I think it was more about them being mad that U.S. lost than them remembering or realizing how good Canada is this cycle. Like they have literally gone toe to toe. They've gone toe to toe with every single team they played. Measure them. Mexico now does not like to play them. I mean, if you guys watched them even in the Gold Cup game that they lost in overtime, they played solid football. And obviously, yes, they have the athletes. And obviously the athletes have gone to a whole nother tier when you've got Davies and Lauren and such. But like they played this cycle without Davies. They're just playing good football. They're well coached. They have what they believe, and they honestly just want to just earn this berth without the 1 in 26. They get handed that one. They're like, we want to show that we're for real. And that's what this is. I'm tired of people being like, well, the U.S. shouldn't have lost. This was actually a game that if you're a coach, you take a tie or you accept the loss because Canada's playing that well.
Right.
Yeah.
Just saying it.
No, I totally get it. I think that. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say ditto. I mean, it's funny, after that game, everybody started texting me, they're like, yo, U.S. lost to Canada, blah, 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 this and that. I'm like, Canada's good. Like, y'all need to stop tripping. Y'all are relying on this antiquated thought process that we're assuming that we're America, and that's not the case. Canada is really good right now. And not to take away from U.S. and the expectations of what we got coming down the pipeline and everything like that. Back in the day, Canada is just as good, bro.
Word.
They handle Mexico.
Repeatedly, they're proving it. You know what I'm saying? Like this is not no one trick show.
We shouldn't have to be talking about it's the third round of the octagon being like, oh, now they're good. They have been consistently over this last year and a half.
Yeah, for sure.
Like we should just expect it. Like as a coach, I'm like, okay, treat it like the Mexico games. Like what can we get away from home?
I think people have just been so accustomed to Canada being mostly a non-factor, and this is one of the things that I always talk about when talking about qualifying. Like people have the idea that other teams aren't trying to get better too, and it's just that it's only us, and everybody else is just like they're going to be where they're at. I'm like, no, other teams want to get better too. They want to get to a point where they can qualify for a World Cup and hopefully go deep. And you've seen the progression with Canada the past few years, and it's like, oh, like they're for real now. It's not even a question at this point. That they already handled Mexico. They handled us. Like we couldn't win in Nashville when we played them a few months back. I'm like, yeah, like there's a strong chance they're probably going to win. Yeah, tagging them we're still in a good position where we can still qualify, but yeah, Canada is legit the real deal. What you got, Scott?
I was gonna say, well, aside from that, You see, they could have played better if they weren't freezing. We out here racism mode.
Listen,
I was pissed because I was like, was that the Honduras game? Was it what year?
Yeah,
it was so lit. I was like, y'all out here freezing, hypothermia, and y'all could be in the Georgia, my bad, the Mercedes Benz. You could have been in the LAFC situation. You could have been anywhere. You could have been in Jerry World. Oh my God, you could have been anywhere but racismo.
I mean, it's for those of y'all who did see like the game in St. Paul against Honduras, the temperatures got down to like 1 degrees outside. I'm not even sure what the wind chill was.
Yo, people's beards was freezing. I had friends texting me talking about the beer froze. Can't think.
Like you saw, there's like Reggie Cannon posted a picture on social media, like his ears were like swollen. Just like trying to, from being exposed to the cold and everything. 2 players from Honduras got treated for hypothermia. Like, let's not do this again. Let's not do that again. Like, let's like I said, Nashville's cold this time of year, but it ain't 1 degrees. Like, let's
go play in the indoor stadium. Go play in the Vikings. We play in Minnesota then.
So let me ask y'all a question. What's the baseline? What's the cutoff? Where are we measuring? Is it wind chill? Are we measuring?
But that's the thing.
I'm being serious. Like
no, because that's the thing is like U.S. Soccer has standards for us. Like, okay, at this point it's too cold, and they said, nah, let's just go ahead and play it. And it was like you set yourself up for a lot of criticism trying to have this advantage. And what you got, Tony?
I mean, like, that's when it's too hot. You have breaks for water, like every 25 minutes or something like that. Mm-hmm. Maybe every 25 minutes they go by a hot ass little, barrel on the hands up, everything like that. The ears thawed out.
You gonna have a campfire break?
Exactly. Yeah.
Why don't y'all just play indoors? Okay, fine. Then they're gonna play Indianapolis. There we go. They could have played in the Lucas Oil situation.
I mean, Minnesota's football stadium also has an indoor, isn't it?
Yeah. Because
play indoors.
The idea somehow, I guess, is that U.S. Soccer doesn't want to play on turf. I'm like, but there's no rule against playing on turf because you saw what happened with Canada. Their game was on turf and outdoors. I'm like. That's not a holdup. I'm like, you need to think about, player safety, fan safety, being out there and just butt ass cold like that. Like, yeah, I think we're gonna ask Kev what's the coldest he's been out here because that kind of thing it was totally avoidable and everything. But yeah, like I'm gonna switch it up just a little bit this week because of course, like I say, again, we got Kev on stage and we're gonna give. That as much time as we can on this episode. So I'm going to go ahead and plug the store right now. If you go on to ftcutd.myshopify.com, we got some new stuff. Of course, we are celebrating the Senegal's African Cup triumph. We got the Sadio Legends of the Culture hoodie. There's a secret menu if you want a Mindy hoodie, just say I want Mindy. We can hook that up. We can hook it up. And then also while I am bullshitting around, because of course the stickers that we were talking about with Ty, we are also making available on the website. Just these bad boys right here. So yes, check these out at ftcutd.myshopify.com. We got that. Oh, and then also there is more. The world famous racism counter stickers also available and whatnot. Make sure you check those out. Make sure you check out the new hoodies. And again, we're getting ready for the new MLS season. Kits are about to come out and everything. So yeah, make sure you get your kits hooked up and everything. Because again, we got presses now. So yeah, we can hook it all up now. So
I got requests. I'm gonna have special requests and stuff. Sorry,
man, you about to have
yeah. I'm gonna need that badge on one of my next goalkeeper kits, man. I need that FTC American badge on my next jersey. You know,
y'all do hats.
Let's look that up.
We need a steady hat plug. I mean, because I think
need to do era situations.
Okay.
Yeah, we only do new era. I need
one that fits my big head.
That part too.
Yeah,
because I wear like a 758, so I need like a
bigger.
Dang, you got an 8? You got a 9? You got specialty? You got 10s?
I'm about like an 8 1/4. So yeah, like I
what?
trust me.
Did it make those?
Yeah, damn! You go in that back corner of lids. You gotta
go in it.
What y'all not gonna do is judge me this
I'm not
late.
Lying. That's where you gotta go in the back corner of lids.
Right.
And so when you go in that back corner, that's where they got the 8 pluses. All right. And so when you go in those 8 pluses, that's where you see like Cowboys hats.
Yeah.
You see like New York Yankees hat, Dodge and Eric ass hat.
Y'all ain't gonna roast me like we did Kev, but yeah. On the flip side, we will have.
Hey, Gregor, what do you have on your mind?
Dang, you ball.
On your
How
mind?
you got? Dang. That's a lot of intelligence.
You got a lot on your mind. You got a lot on your mind.
Y'all go leave alone.
I got locks in my head. I ain't got my head ain't that big.
Y'all go
I
leave me alone.
I was big at 7.
Can you wear a snapback? No. Can you wear a snapback?
I haven't worn a snapback since like middle school, man. Like it's been a long time.
Because you be on the last snap, you can't even snap.
He got that shit out there.
Y'all like TK is on the side of the monitor over here and just laughing his ass off. Like y'all gonna leave me alone. But yes,
like yo,
this fit.
But yes, make sure you're if you are already up on YouTube, make sure you're following us on YouTube, and of course already on your favorite podcast apps. But yes, on the flip side, we're gonna have Kev on stage. We're gonna chop it up with him and talk soccer, talk comedy, talk business. And, it's gonna be a great conversation. So stick with us. We'll be right back. And we are back. Man, listen, I got to give thanks to you, Ty, because honestly, I did not think this was about to happen then. And because I want you to set us up with the intro. What's good?
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago during the holiday season, we were kind of like spreading the Cultureverse cheer around Twitter, and I got to see a man that we were introduced to as Kevin Fredericks, but you will know him, KevOnStage. Saw him out there just talking soccer, and honestly, most of us, I would say, in the space are aware of his presence, just from the comedy world. But in the soccer space, we all know that he has an affinity for it. We know some plays it. I remember my first kind of like dipping my toes into like how he's in the space was, I think, one of his kids had scored a goal and he like lost his mind. The video was fantastic, and it was like one day I aim to be that father who just like celebrates his son so hard that the whole park gets annoyed. But yeah, so he popped up and I just kind of like shot the shot, say, hey, like, you want to talk some footy? And today here we are. So I want everybody here we're going to like do the polite applause to welcome KevOnStage.
What up, guys?
What is up? Man. Hold on. Yo, Ty, I thought we were going to have Caillou on the show. I thought we were going to have Caillou.
That shows you people don't watch the full video. In the video, I showed them my beard, and people were like, "Nah," they turned away. They were like, I want to see you talking like with the naked face, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna turn away.
I like to go on record and say,
man, what was my real face?
When is the last time you actually had a clean shave?
I don't. It's probably I was before I could grow facial hair. Once I grew a mustache, the mustache stayed. Then I had a little soul patch forever. I would never cut my face naked like that unless Marvel is throwing the ultimate bag at me, and I will not be on social media until my beard can go back.
I feel you on that. I feel you.
I'll be wearing a lace front beard before I come out.
Because
why is that a thing?
I remember when my mom, like like the few times I did try to shave it all off, my mom used to clown me so hard when I would do. She's like, "Don't do that. Like, just don't set yourself up for that kind of failure." And like just the amount of cooking that was done on the social, like, hey, you know, it's hard out here for a pimp. Like, trust me, like I get it. I
just had all the whys because I felt like the beard was synonymous with like who he was, and I was just like, why? I just didn't get it. But now I'm glad to know this it's fake. So it's good. It's good now.
But to kick things off, like I don't know if you watched the USA games last week. Like I don't know if like you heard about the temperatures being all super low. What's the coldest place that you've ever done a gig at?
A game?
A comedy gig.
Oh man, we went to Toronto a couple years ago, and it was like 2 degrees or negative 2 degrees, and it was like negative 30 degrees with the wind chill factor. And I made this video like the wind chill factor is the only factor because the weather was like it's 2 degrees, but it feels like negative 30. Well, then it's negative 30. All that matters is what it feels like.
Yeah,
it was wild. Me and my wife thought it would be fun for our kids, and we took our sons to Niagara Falls during this time. We got him hot chocolate, and my son spilled it, and it spilled on his jacket, and it froze before it even dripped all the way down his jacket. And I was like, "This is hot, bro. You should not." And it was hot chocolate, and it was frozen before it even got halfway down his jacket. And I was like, "We shouldn't be outside."
Absolutely not.
No, that's
outside during this.
Dude, that was just insane, and like you saw, like everyone just like trying to get all covered up. Just like no, like this ain't
also
it.
Unnecessary. Like you know that it's gonna be cold there at that time of year. Why? Why would you do that?
Yeah.
And
did you see the racist counter had to be reset again? What did he say? The players were looking for blankets like refugees or something like that.
Oh, because they came from Honduras and they didn't have like any warm weather gear, cold weather gear at all. So they had to like go to like and try to like get in where you fit in. So that was just an L just waiting to happen. And yeah,
whole world out there, no pun intended.
Literally and figuratively. But I see what you did there. But yeah, we're happy to have you on, and like Ty said, like we've been watching you for quite some time, and I know like in our private chats, like we would notice videos where it's like, hold up, is he wearing a United jersey? Is he wearing a Chelsea jersey? I think you had a Juventus jersey too, and I was like, is he doing this for the fashion, or is he doing this because he into soccer? Like, what got you into the game?
So my son plays soccer, and he was getting really good. So, you know, he was playing, I believe, at the time, it wasn't indoor, but it was like, I don't know what it's called, but it was like indoor.
Futsal?
They had like
futsal.
Yeah. So, I mean, he was killing, he was megging kids and stuff. So I went all in. I went to the soccer store to get him cleats, and at the soccer store, they had all these jerseys from all these teams. So I was just picking based off of I was like, okay, Jeep. I like Jeeps. Let me get that. I didn't understand how it worked at all.
Yes.
Like Jeeps team's deep.
Yeah. So I bought a whole bunch, and I was wearing them in videos. And then like I started watching and stuff, and people were like, Kev, are you really into soccer? And I was like, well, I'm trying to get in. And they were like, bro, you can't wear kits from rival teams. It's like you're wearing a
Bloods and Crips, man. It's Bloods and Crips.
In a Bears jersey, the next, like, you can't do that. You have to pick a team.
Oh, man.
So what happened was, I was set tripping. Now you can pick a team from different leagues. I did find that out later. You can like a Bundesliga team and a La Liga team and Premier League team, but you cannot have teams
from
within
the same league.
Team. So I was like, okay. Yeah. So I was in. This is the story of how I chose Manchester United.
Okay.
We were in Paris, and it was 2018. It was the World Cup, and we were watching it. The United States was out way early, if they even got in. I don't remember nothing about the United States being in, but I remember France. France had Pogba was balling, and Belgium had Lukaku was balling. Lukaku and De Bruyne were balling, and England had Rashford balling. So I was trying to pick a team, and the announcer was like, yo, these 3 people are on the same team. And I was like, oh, 3 black dudes on a Premier League team? So I was like, bet. And I recognized the Manchester United jersey was always in the soccer store. Because and they had a big section. So I was like, I'm going with, and Martial, I think I saw him too. But I know Lukaku, Pogba, and Rashford were on Manchester United. And they were young. Because I was like, I don't want to pick a team and the best players that are black are old. And then they leave. So as soon as I started following United, Lukaku left like the next transfer window. I think he left in the January transfer window immediately. And United ended up being absolutely abysmal at that season. I remember towards the end of that.
It sounded smart at the time, but yeah, like we
they had. I remember I was watching a lot of YouTube videos and Academy videos, and they had lost to Huddersfield Town. And the fans were losing it. They were like, "Why do we not?" I think they drew at Huddersfield Town, and they were like, "Get Mourinho out of here! Kill him!" So I was like, "Oh, it's great to start following a team when they're not good because nobody will accuse you of being a bandwagon fan if the team's not good when you start following them."
True.
So I then later found out that Manchester United is basically like the Cowboys or the Yankees of Premier League. But I didn't know that at the time. So that's how I got into it, and that's how I started following Manchester United.
So you're in LA now, right?
Yeah.
So are you seeing the same thing happen with the Lakers right now? Like,
hey,
man, people are jumping off the ship left and right. People are so mad at Russell Westbrook, man. They are like, I never seen an NBA player, and I like Russ. He hits the backboard and nothing else more than anybody.
Barely hits the backboard.
Hey, I got a joke. I'm like, they be looking like LA Fitness. They out here.
It be way over the square. Like it was never gonna make like you like lifted weights and then went and played. It is
exactly.
Awful.
Oh, and that's all. My bad. That's all.
Yeah,
that's all me. That's all me.
That's me. My bad. I'm gonna get it back on you. So yeah, man, it's tough out here.
Oh man, yeah, it's like we're doing our best. Like I said, right now we deem United, telenovela United is just one thing after another.
You gotta love it from a distance. You gotta like it from a distance. I told y'all, be upper echelon, be free agents. Love them from a distance.
And it's crazy because I'm trying to understand, like, I realize how big of a team they are because, like, the fans will be talking and people will be roasting them and they'll be in 4th place of 20.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fourth, and that's like Champions League spot. I'm not understanding vitriol. Like, it's obvious we're not going to win the league title.
No.
4th place. It's not like they're gonna get they're not middle of the table. They're not gonna get what's it called when you gotta go to this
relegated.
They're not gonna get relegated. I couldn't think of that word for nothing. But bruh, it's either you win the league or you suck. Nowhere in between.
Yeah,
for those those top 6 teams, either win the league or you are trash.
Pretty much. Yeah,
basically. Yeah. It's a hard life to live. Everybody can't be first fans.
There's no division champions or
nothing.
Region champs, nothing.
Carabao Cup. We don't even got the Carabao Cup.
Yo, that's
the league.
Even the Carabao Cup.
The Capri Sun
Cup.
Flip Cup. Red Cup.
Flip Cup.
They ain't got none of it.
Something, please. Like, it just came out the other day that the United's like recorded like the biggest transfer loss, like over like 1.1 billion, and it's just
years or something
and like
for losses.
For the amount of spending that we've done. Like, we've gotten so little in return. It's like I said, it's almost like Spurs, like
it has been, man. And I'm gonna tell you what I learned. I made a great mistake. I was like, "Oh, Ronaldo, bro. Ronaldo is what you need, bro." I'm watching United. I'm like, "Oh, this was actually terrible because they want him to score so bad. They will take a great attack and be like, I've seen it happen. Rashford, great shot on goal, but instead he'll pass it to Ronaldo. I'll be like, what are you? But it's like if Jordan, you got to pass to him. So
it's Jordan on the Wizards. It's like, hey, let's just make sure,
Wizards, man.
Let's just make sure Jordan gets his points.
Goals. I know he scored in a minute, but he gonna score his goals. But the team as a whole is just like, bro, ain't no midfielders. Midfielders.
I always said as soon as they started talking about it, that like that was for the first time where you saw one of the big teams in Europe outside of my club just chase the money. Like the money was just chased because it made no tactical sense to bring this man back. You finally got them to gel. You finally got them to like get on with the program, and you have a human being. While yes, is a very superior athlete. Literally, it's about him at this point, and you just took away the whole team aspect and was like, let's make it about this man. And you know what?
Jadon Sancho. They were supposed to sign Jadon Sancho for 3 years. He was supposed to sign Jadon Sancho. Every transfer window, Jadon Sancho. How do you sign him and they ain't been able to say his name hardly at all?
Yep. Yes.
That's facts. That's facts.
I'm like, yo, we waited all this. We got Varane. We got Sancho.
Time out. Trust the process. I still trust the process, y'all.
I'm gonna tell you what happened. They're drawing Burnley, man.
Trust the process.
Drawing Burnley.
They drawing Burnley today. It was bad.
To look at the table. I was
they're playing 3D chess, y'all. They playing 3D chess.
Ain't no 3D chess. You drawing with Burnley, man. I turned off the game. I was so upset.
The Glazers saw Tom Brady to the Bucks, and they were like, bet, we will do this exact same thing.
Same thing.
It's not a one-to-one. It's not a one-to-one thing, bro. The NFL, you can turn a team around. In the Premier League, you can too, but you have to have somebody in the midfield or you.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's how Burnley scored. It was like, the boom.
Man, that's tough, man.
What? The boom? Is that what you said?
Yeah, like, the boom. It was embarrassing, but I'm a fan from a distance.
I don't understand Manchester United. They will draw Burnley, and then they'll beat somebody they're not supposed to beat. Yeah. And then, like, the bottom of the table teams, they be like, we don't know how to play soccer no more. We don't know how to do anything.
Yeah.
But so like you were saying that you got into the game like from your son now. From what I understand, like he's with LAFC, the academy. Is that correct?
Yeah, his team got absorbed into the academy.
Okay.
So he ain't like at the facility. He ain't there yet. But they got the same jerseys as the people.
he can't go through security yet. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, you can't.
His badge won't work.
Yeah, we like badge.
Don't come all the way up here, but you like satellite. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. He on the satellite. Okay.
He's cousin twice removed. That's my cousin on my dad's side, but we didn't really know him. You know,
what position does he play?
So this is a sore spot for us.
Uh-oh.
He is playing center back right now.
Okay.
He is a midfielder.
Oh,
he is a midfielder by like the way he plays. He might even be a defensive midfielder, but I'd say he's a deep line midfielder. His tendency is to protect the goal, but he can, he would be great on a team that did counterattacks. Like he can control the ball in the middle and he can distribute to forwards and strikers. But because he's fast and aggressive, this coach has put him on the back line, which is good for stopping the other team from scoring goals. But they have a hard time creating offense. They have a hard time getting the ball from the back line to the forwards because we just don't have anybody in the midfield. Same thing as United. He's basically playing on Manchester United right now.
He probably is literally right now playing.
Yeah, literally. It sounds like it.
We need a six. We need a six. So just tell him to say we can sign him. You see the sign him.
He's playing out of position. So my hope is when he gets to high school, he's going to high school next year. And in California, apparently you can't play club and high school. So I'm hoping that he makes the high school team and he can play. He can drop the club team. They are too demanding. Forget it. This is entirely too much. If you ain't going to the league, his practice starts at 7:30 to 9. Yep. I'm in the bed. First of all, This is ridiculous. But yeah, he's a midfielder. He should be playing midfielder.
So here's my question now:
how old?
How tall is he?
He's not tall. That's the only thing. He's short. And that's why I like him playing soccer because of the Messi effect. You know what I'm saying? Like soccer, you can really still ball even if you're not really, really tall.
True.
But in his position, I'm like, bro, you playing where Virgil van Dijk plays. That's what I'm
is 6'5". Yeah. Usually you got tall backs.
That person is 6'5".
Yep.
You don't have to be 6'5" to play in the league, but at that position, everybody else is 6'5".
Yep.
Like that's where my question comes from a coaching standpoint. They have to know that.
On the right side, he's not tall at all. I don't understand why you got to be tall in the middle, but on the wings you don't have to be tall.
Well, everybody's usually the thought process is that people are sending crosses in. So if you got crosses coming in,
so you got to
send it back, clear it out. Yeah,
got it.
So,
and that's why I'm confused from a coaching
to the right side. They're gonna make them play defense.
What are you saying, Todd?
I said that's what confuses me from his coaching standpoint. Like, if the club knows that when he goes to high school, the height's not there, why are they grooming him in the center when it seems as if, if the pace is there, he'd be on the outside, and then if he's like got the vision, he'd be in the midfield. So I'm confused on the coaching, and I would like you to inquire politely. In a way, it's like
we have talked to the coach. My wife, you think I'm bad? My wife, she don't understand a tenth of what I understand. She'd be like, "Why he ain't in the middle? He need to be in the middle. He be good at getting it and giving it. Put my baby in the middle."
That's what. Yeah.
Did you see the trajectory of how you cheered for your son change over the years? Like usually young parents, when they get involved and they're not familiar with the game, they're always like, "Kick the ball, kick it." And then now, are you cheering with a different, tone and saying different words now? Because you seem like you've been a student of the game lately. You seem,
Listen, at the beginning, I was shoot it, kick it, clear it. This is the only three things. If you're close enough to shoot. If you're in the defense, this is when he can play all the way the whole field. If they're about to score, clear it. If you ain't got nothing to do, kick it. Now I'm like, now we're like, playing transition, send it, through ball, stuff like that.
That slide tackle going in,
yeah, they ain't ready for that. They slide tackles and headers, they are well behind on because you couldn't do headers until this age group. They're well behind on that.
About 12. It's U12 in Georgia.
Yeah. The hardest thing to understand was offside, man. When you're first starting, that pass at the time of the kick, you want to talk about infuriating. I was like, dog, I don't understand. There was no VAR either. I'm like, bro, let him stop calling that. Let him
cook. Let him cook, please.
Let him cook. But now I'm a pro. They had an offside kid. He scored a goal. I'm like, that's off.
He's like, don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. He's off. He's way off.
He's off. He's off. Come on.
So
here we go.
That took me a cool 2 years to really understand how that worked.
Hey, no lie, I'll give you props because I played, I'm 40 years old. I played the game since I was 5. For 35 years, to this day, my dad still doesn't get offside. To this day. He's like, Torn. He'll be watching my games with his peanuts because, he's a good old country boy from Alabama. He's like, Torn, I still don't get offside. Well, okay. Whatever you say.
That's not a thing that happens in football and basketball. There's no concept of that. Yeah. And the thing is, I understood the rule, but then I had to realize that at that level, they're not always calling it correctly. Mm-hmm. And that's what was making it hard to understand. In basketball, a foul is easy to see and spy. Football, pass interference is easy. And soccer, offsides is not really clear unless you know exactly what you're looking for.
Like you'd be like, he looks even, and then you realize, we're counting the toes. Like, he wears size 5? What we doing here? Like, what we doing?
Right,
what we doing?
right.
But so you're saying that JoJo might have a better career in comedy than soccer. It looks like going into his high school years. Because I see the videos, I'm like he be getting the shots in.
Yeah, now he can really play. The thing that I realized though, the honest truth, if you want your kid to excel, you have to be private coaching, and it almost have to be your life. Like you got to be playing tournaments every weekend. And the better club teams, they're like 45 minutes away, and it's hard to live a regular life and have a kid in club sports and have a personal trainer and be a comedian that's touring and stuff. So it was like our life didn't really, wasn't really conducive to have him be out like that. And he likes the game, but I don't know if he's personal trainer every day, 2 hours a day, enjoy the game. He likes to play. He plays with his friends, but he also likes to rest and play video games. And I'm like, you don't have to make it a career. You can also just have fun and play. Basically his club is year round. So he's always playing. It's just like, I don't want to take him an hour out, and take him on I really can't do that. And my wife, got another son and stuff. She got the only other stuff she wants to do. So if he's serious about it, at his level, I'm sure he could play college at some level if he wanted to. I think he's good enough for that. But, if anything beyond that would really depend on how serious he is. But he definitely has a career in podcasting. That he's a natural at, and you don't have to be tall to do that.
Yeah, clearly, like I said, we need to ask him about some tips because just to getting this thing on today, I was like, man, I don't know, it was cutting it close, but yeah, so you've been doing the social media comedy. Obviously, you've been doing the stand up for a long time. Like, what about the social media platform really appealed to you as far as just getting your name out there and say hey, I can make this something that works for me? Because of course it's opened up doors for you.
Yeah, that's a great question. For me, I was living in Seattle at the time. That's why I noticed your Supersonics hat. I was living in Seattle at the time, and there was no auditions to go to in Seattle. So it was like, if you want to be in the entertainment industry, that's not going to happen. So I was watching a lot of YouTube when I should have been at work. I was working at Boeing, and I was just like, not finna be doing that. So I was watching a lot of YouTube, and I noticed people went from doing it for fun to being like, yo, I made a YouTube partner, to yo, this is actually my job. And I was like, hold on, your job? How y'all get the job part? So I realized that, we were doing plays in Washington, and we were doing well in Washington, but there's only so many Black people in Seattle, Tacoma, Portland, that whole Northwest. So we're like, we don't really have the money to we don't have the money to move the play, and we don't have the audience to keep the play up. Like Tyler Perry, he was in Atlanta. You could do a play for a month. There'll be new Black people every week, or they can drive down.
Coming in weekly.
Yeah, Tacoma, Seattle, that just wasn't going to happen. So the internet was like, the main reason I started making videos with my friends and on my own is we were like, if we could get a lot of fans and followers throughout the United States, then when we came to their city, they would come to the plays. And quickly we realized that doing the videos in and of itself was a potential way to do entertainment. And it didn't matter that we lived in Washington at that time. And then people would pay us to fly out and do our jokes. So we basically switched gears and started focusing on that.
Wow. It's been incredible to kind of see your growth and see just the progression. Like I said, of course, the doors have opened up, partnering up with Will Smith. I was like, yo, this dude was literally doing videos in his car a few years ago. Now he's over here stopping with the big dogs. This is the real come up. This is the real come up.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I didn't even think about that. I was doing those videos in my car on my way to work, editing them while I was walking to work. And then I would just go to work and be an employee. You know what I'm saying? And then I'd come home and oftentimes shoot another video in the car and edit as I was walking the door to my house. And now I have a whole, and this isn't even a flex, I just really didn't even think about it. Now I have a whole studio and a team and all that stuff. And all that started from, way back when I first started, and just pumping out so many videos, man. I was just like, I'm going to make a video every day. There was a couple years there where I was making 2 or 3 videos a day.
Wow.
Every day. Wow. And I was like, you don't laugh at something. I don't know what it is, but I'll keep making one about something until I get your laughter.
Man.
All right, well, let me follow up on that. So speaking of that, just noticing how the whole game of comedy is going, so obviously the big names they dealing with almost having to be handcuffed because they're getting ridiculed for the content that they might provide.
Yeah.
How is that playing a factor when you create your content? Are you feel like you're now starting to have to, put guardrails up now when you create your content, or, overthinking the stuff when you come up with your stuff?
I mean, honestly, I've never felt handcuffed. I have felt a comedian's job is always to find the line, know where it is, and edge up against it without being too far over, right? And I think what happens is on the internet. So prior to the internet, hey, the tide is changing on this style of joke, so I'm gonna stop telling it in person. But there was no recording of that joke, right? And this is like the Joe Rogan thing. Like he might have been like, you know what, I should stop probably saying this. And he did like a couple years ago. But the internet don't care. That video is still up. So somebody went and was like, you know what, let me remind y'all what he said. And now it's very easily accessible to say, here's what you did, right? So for me, I have definitely crossed that line, or that line changed, right? Sometimes something I made, something that was funny in 2012 is now offensive in 2020.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
So, and I didn't, not only did I didn't know at that time, it wasn't considered offensive. I always go back to Bernie Mac's set on Original Kings of Comedy when he was talking about his nephew. At the time I watched that, we all thought that was funny. It wasn't problematic. I don't remember anybody having beef with that. But if he released that now, that wouldn't be funny.
It'd be trouble.
But I don't believe that Bernie Mac wouldn't be funny today. And that's the difference. Right. He would know, oh, you can't say that. What can I say? That's the job of a comedian is like, what's the right word? What's the right setup? What's just enough to get you to understand? If I'm making fun of a celebrity, is that celebrity beloved? If you're beloved, it's hard to get people to laugh at them. If they're not beloved, or what's the tide on them, right? So I think that's the hard part of being a good comedian is you really have to be aware of the time, what's okay, what's not okay. And I honestly think a lot of times comedians just don't want to do the work and they don't want to learn. Like I remember I was reading this article, this is way back in the day, and the white comedians were complaining because people didn't like blackface. And the white dude was like, well, I was one of the top blackface comedians, what am I finna do? Like, figure out another way to
find something else.
Find something else.
There are other ways to be funny, I guarantee it.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I think that's to me, I'm kind of always like reading the tea leaves on what's cool, what's not cool. And sometimes, and I went back and deleted videos. As I see the tide turning, I'm like, all right, I made a video.
Whoop, delete that.
You know what I'm saying?
They all need to see that one number. Like
part of the job.
He's like,
but I think
no cancel culture is not getting me.
Listen, I went through my Twitter feed and searched. Okay, what did I say? Because back then this was cool. This ain't cool now. And I think most people understand. Like, if you didn't know then and you weren't being malicious, and you really know now, and you are apologetic, people will forgive you. But I think a lot of times people just don't want to be apologetic. They don't want to do nothing. They want to be able to say whatever they want. And you really can say whatever you want. You just also have to deal with the consequences of saying whatever you want. Exactly. People just don't want to. They want to say whatever they want and have people take it the way they want them to take it.
Word.
Absolutely. Do you have any questions, Sky?
I don't know. Do I have any questions?
I got more.
What's up? What you got?
What's up?
So obviously this is a soccer themed podcast. So we've asked this question like with other topics in the past on the for the Culture podcast. But I gotta know, you have like a starting 11 of comedians for your.
Oh, that's fine.
Oh man.
Yeah. And my question will be so much more serious after that.
Do I have to put them in like a field or
correct
just pick
position?
my starting level?
However you want.
Just pick your however you want to formulate it. However, it's your squad. You own it. You are the Glazers right now.
Yes. You can spit however you want.
All right, I'll tell you. The first person off the board for me is Tony Baker. He is probably he's my favorite comedian. He's the best at the craft. He is the funniest to me. I would then pick Arnez J. He's one of the reasons I did comedy.
Classic.
He was just a ball of energy. He didn't care. He was just as funny as he wanted to be. And I loved his comedy and his approach. I would pick Bernie Mac because his sets on Def Comedy Jam and Kings of Comedy, like I never saw an hour-long special from Bernie Mac, and I didn't need to. His 10 minutes on Def Comedy Jam and 2025 on a real original Kings of Comedy, dog, that was the only special you ever needed.
That's true.
Yeah. Kevin Hart, I love. He was the next comedian after the next one I'm going to name. That was like, he took the possibility in my lifetime, as I watched the possibilities of what a comedian could do to the stratosphere, right? He had a Nike running shoe that don't have nothing to do with the joke. That's like
comedy.
Dog, you have what? How did you get that?
Yep.
And I also, like him and like LeBron, I watched their career. I watched them blossom. Eddie Murphy, prior to Kevin Hart, was like, he blew the lid off of what you could do. He hosted Saturday Night Live as a cast member of Saturday Night Live.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That is insane. That's how big of a star he was. And he had some classic movies there, TV, movies, and stand-up, and he was like 23. What's that, 5, 6?
Yeah, 5.
Okay.
5.
Jess Niche, she is a comedian out of Chicago. She's just knocked down, drag out funny, and fearless. Andrea Allen, she just did our Keep Your Distance comedy show, which is this weekend. Probably one of the smartest, funniest comedians that I've ever seen do stand-up. That's what, 7?
Yeah,
Oh my.
yeah, you're at. You're 7.
Sinbad. Sinbad is a funny comedian, and he kind of showed me that you could be funny doing clean content or clean comedy,
Yeah,
but it doesn't
true,
really
true.
feel like it's clean.
Yeah.
Like you just killing, and you don't realize, like, he didn't even cut, like it didn't even matter. That's what, 8.
Mm-hmm.
Low key, recently there's a comedian named Kanisha Buss. She did Keep Your Distance. She was probably one of the most original. She has some material about being a mom that I've never seen ever before or since. That is so funny and so original. If this was the 80s, Tony Baker and Kanisha Buss, if this was the 80s or early 90s, they would have gotten a TV show based off their set.
Already.
And an agent would have said, we're going to make this show.
Word.
Who else do I love personally? Cat Williams. His Pimp Chronicles is my wife's favorite stand-up special of all time. Pretty flawless stand-up special. I've also seen it so many times because she loves it so much. That's 10.
Who's your Ronaldo?
Who's your Ronaldo?
Who's your Ronaldo? Who's gonna bust it through? We gotta sign him. Who you got signed?
I'm really trying to think of who really means the most to me that I'd be like, dang, you really are good at this.
It's going on record now. Hey, you can't delete this one.
I know, right?
That's scrolling through and deleting.
No pressure.
Man, let me think. Trying to think of who I love.
If the squad's that bad, you just play a man down.
I know, right?
Hey, search yourself in.
Yeah, me, shoot.
There you go. See, got you. Hey,
Just like when I play video games, I'm creating myself first, and I'm trying to
create a
there we
character.
go. There we go. See?
You about 6'5", 210,
190.
shot power 90.
I got locks. In the game, I have locks. I don't need to be bald in the game. I got to be bald in real life. I don't need to be bald in the game.
It's my player.
It's my
player
dream.
Looking all crazy looking.
Here's what I'll do. I have a serious question, and I can let Sky kind of cap it off, so we won't take.
Well, yeah,
because
I got a couple questions, but
yeah. But my serious one is with 2 Cents, our whole thing is obviously amplifying Black voices in this space of soccer, right? We've also found it's very important for us to own our content, own our production, like own like what we do, and not have others kind of be the filter for us. So my question for you is like, why was it important for you to build your own studio? So like to kind of like, what was the thought process behind that? Like you own your own property, your content. Was it just the business side of it, or was there even more overarching, holistic like approach to that?
Hollywood wasn't letting me in their studios, and I wanted to make what I wanted to make without having to answer to somebody. A lot of times I've been reading this book on Bob Iger, who ran Disney for like 15 years. And they were saying one thing that made Pixar great before they acquired them is they allowed people to do what they did. And they didn't get in and like try to make it perfect. This dude's movie was Ratatouille. You had cars and you were able to let your vision go. And they were supported. And that's what I wanted to do with KevOnStage Studios. It was like, I understand at least my audience, right? And pitching that to Hollywood, every time I would go in to pitch, they either wouldn't get the idea or they would try to change it so much to fit a certain group of people, usually middle America, that it would take away what the people who it's intended for to like would like about it. And I think people are more malleable than that. Like Game of Thrones, for example, which I love and a lot of black people love, it wasn't necessarily marketed to me as a black person. It was just a good show. Breaking Bad, The Sopranos, I could go on and on. They aren't shows for white people or black people. They're just good shows. And then there are some shows that are marketed to certain people. So I wanted to make shows, that I wasn't seeing on TV, like featuring black people for black people with inside jokes that black people would get. And then let other people come around to them. Like I wasn't an Italian American. So The Sopranos I couldn't relate to it on a cultural level, but the show was good and they taught me the world and I learned about it and I started enjoying it. So I think that was the main thing, was just to be able to create content and opportunities for people who look like me, because there's so many more talented people that are not able to get in with Hollywood because there's only so many roles, period. And there's even less for black people, and there's even less for black people that don't have traditional body types and all that stuff. So it was like, here's our opportunity to be as funny and talented as we are. And we're going to make this stuff for other people at home who want to watch people like us. And it's a lot easier with my own studio than pitching somebody else who's telling me to make it for middle America, which means make it palatable for white people. Like black people don't live in middle America. Chicago is in middle America.
Technically, yeah.
Detroit is in the middle of America. There's a lot of black people in the middle of America. Everywhere there is people in the United States, there's black people.
Everywhere.
Yeah, that's right.
True.
What you got, Sky?
Respect. Yeah. Well, Sky, what you bringing home?
Okay, so I got two. So on our show, Shea Butter FC, we usually have a Get Your Fits Right segment where we look at like black culture if it invaded the game. So what would you want for a KevOnStage customized kit? Like if you could make a kit, what would that look like?
Low key, I was designing one for my fans, and then I realized they do not care about soccer, and it was not going to be sold to nobody but me.
So what would it look like then? What did it look like?
So red is my favorite color. So when I started supporting Manchester United, they had a black away kit that I just freaking love. So my thing would be, everything with me would be dark black with red outlines and white accent. Right? Because I just feel like all black teams, remember the Mighty Ducks? The good team is the black team. The black team comes in, they're coming with the all black. You don't even know that team.
That was the Icelandic team. They're from Iceland.
Bro.
Iceland, the Hawks, all that.
All black. Ever since I watched that movie, I have been like, the all black stuff kills. So that's what I would have, the all black. I think, man, Arsenal's no red kit, the all white with nothing on it.
Yeah.
It was icy. Oh, it was so icy. I know I can't buy that now, but I can admire it. So that's what I would do. I would have the all black.
You set tripping now. You going on set
tripping. Yeah, it was set tripping.
I was just admiring that it was a fire fit.
All right.
So
leave it at that,
all black.
Just leave it at that.
With red trim with white accent. Ooh.
I'm smelling some collab opportunities right now.
I'm saying.
I got one more question. So what about So, from what you've seen with soccer games, what would you like to see from Black culture? Would you like some marching bands at a game? What would you like to see to turn up to be fire?
You know what? What would be so the songs, you know, the songs that everybody sings, Black versions of that would be so like I want when a Black person comes out, I want to hear whoa that would be. Imagine they did that for Pogba, bro. That would be. He would know what to do with all that love.
Oh man. Oh man.
That would be so dope. And then I love some. You know, the Black culture, it shines through in the when they score the celebration. You know, like you watch AFCON, it's just dripping with swag. I mean, they don't really score a lot of goals in AFCON because they got good midfielders and good defense. But when they score, it's swag
it's a party.
central.
It's a party.
Yeah. So you want swag surf? You want swag surf at the
swag?
situation?
Oh my god, a swag surf in a stadium.
So it's not paddleboard. So it's not white river rafting. You want to be on beat.
Twos and fours. Twos and fours.
Twos and fours.
There it is.
Can we get some talking outside your neck? If we can get talking outside your neck. Yo.
Or some hay.
We get that at the game?
Get some crucial conflict at hay. Oh man.
Hey,
in the middle.
That's all they need to do. Hey,
in the middle of the pitch. Oh, hey, in the middle of the pitch. In my head is pitch.
Oh man. Man, listen.
Hey, the game would even finish. Hey,
oh no. It'd be great.
We gotta stop.
Oh man, this has been so great having you on, man. Of course, as we move into 2 up until now, of course, this is a pretty big weekend for the city of LA. Like, are y'all getting in the mix of this? Of course, for copyright purposes, we can't use the actual name. So, like, just to take on Skies, we're gonna call it the Sippy Bowl.
Oh, the Sippy Bowl.
But yes. So y'all steering clear of Inglewood, that part of LA.
I'm gonna be in Torrance. Absolutely not. I ain't going up there. Absolutely not.
I'm going to be as far away from the Sippy Bowl. Sippy Bowl. I'm going to be as far away from that part of LA as I'm already far from that part, and I'm going to keep it like that. I'm not going nowhere on the weekend. Nope. No way, no how. The Super Bowl might as well be in Minneapolis or Miami for all I care. I have no idea that it's here.
Right. Absolutely not. My team is on the couch, on the playoff couch. They had the cereal bowl. They just chilling.
They tried so hard. So how are we looking on predictions? Of course, we got Cincy and LA, of course, with the home team actually in the game. How we looking, guys? Like, how are we looking on picks?
I just honestly, I'm happy either way. I love Joe Burrow being brand new to the game and the Bengals sucking forever and winning. But I also love Odell Beckham Jr. winning, especially this season after what happened in Cleveland, and Matthew Stafford after, being in Detroit all them seasons. I just love that I'm not a supporter of either team, so I just want to see a good game and win. But if I had to, I probably would rather see Matt Stafford and Odell and Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald is so amazing at his position, so it's just like I would like to see him win. I feel like the Bengals are going to be in good hands for a couple of years, so they might get another shot. But I don't think Matt Stafford, that this team is this is their win it or lose it year. They don't have enough money to keep this team together. So
basically,
I'm hoping for them.
What about you, Ty?
Honestly, I'm kind of my team's been gone for a minute. I'm just excited. A lot of us here in Ohio are obviously wrapping arms around Burrow, so I'll be happy that way. But I also, because I'm a big OBJ fan as well, like I want to see him do his thing. He's a big soccer fan too, so I'm like, I would respect it. And he was technically, with us for a little bit, so I'm just gonna watch it, enjoy it, not making a prediction. I'm happy for everybody that's gonna enjoy it.
Coach, are you gonna break your protest or what's the word?
I mean, I guess I might as well put an opinion on this, but since I doing grad work at University of Cincinnati, I gotta go with the Bengals. So at the same time, since I'm a cigar connoisseur and Joe Burrow loves to smoke the cigars after the game, I gotta see him smoke one after the game. So I'm gonna go for them. But at the same time, like you said, kid, like if the Rams don't do it this year, like they ain't gonna have another chance. Like this is make or break. And at the same time, like no knocks against anybody on that squad. Like I love that squad that they built. I mean, I wouldn't be mad if they won, but for I guess the underdog and going with the Cincy, chip on the shoulder type of thing, I gotta go for the Bengals this year.
Sky Jesus.
I mean, the Falcons ain't embarrassing me, so I don't believe that the Rams.
Hey, time out. Well, we'll find a way. I'm sure someone from the Falcons will get locked up.
Why are you doing that, man? I'm trying to prove. Okay. So,
I'm sure that's going to happen.
Okay, it'd be cool if the Bengals won because Joe Burrow, he out here. But on the flip side, I mean, this the last year. The Rams got to do it. Yeah, it'd be nice if Aaron Donald won. But then they're going to be popping off fireworks and crap all, until the end.
All night.
All night. And then they're going to be celebrating like they was fans.
Got a valid reason to go for the Bengals.
So that's what I was like, if the Bengals win, I ain't going to be mad. If the Rams win, I ain't going to be mad. But yeah, OBJ got a stun on me.
We're all like, go football. That's all I heard.
Go
Everyone's
football.
like, yay, football.
Go the team.
Go
the team.
Go game.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be embarrassed. The Falcons can't embarrass me.
Teams have fun.
Yeah, we're freaking Rob Lowe with the NFL hat.
I'm going to go for everybody black. Go team.
There we go.
Ain't no black quarterback, so.
During the conference championship game a couple weeks ago when Cincinnati won, I was like, I think the biggest sign of gentrification, especially to that part of LA now, Inglewood, is like Skyline Chili is coming to LA. That is just the ultimate form of gentrification. Like, yeah, like it's coming.
I'm just playing.
Cincinnati. That's their food. That's their staple. I'm like, good luck on that. But
I saw that on a bus when I had a show in Cincinnati. I thought it was spaghetti. I didn't realize that they hadn't put it on spaghetti noodles. I was confused.
Don't do it to your body. I'm from Columbus, and we do make fun of the spaghetti sauce soup thing. And
it's overrated.
I don't understand it. Don't try it.
It's overrated.
It's actually, now that I think about it, Tony, like it's actually been a good football year for Cincinnati. Like hopefully the Bengals will do better than the Bearcats. That's because that'll work like the world for y'all.
Do well. And that just goes to show you, bro. It'd be like, man, we undefeated, and then you play the people who got to play each other, and it'd be like, oh, that's why y'all didn't play them. I wanted them to win. I wanted them to win the whole championship because I'd be sick of the SEC. But it ain't the skill positions, bro. It's the D line and the O line. You're not moving them big boys around.
You see the height and weight difference. It's
like playing with your son. Like, all right, now I'm gonna play for real.
Back up, man. Come on, back up. Stop playing.
Dog, it was a cold world when that game started.
Yeah.
But one more football note, of course. Last week, the Washington football team finally made their big name change. Are now the Commanders. They're run by Cobra Commander. Like y'all like the name? Like y'all, it's like like what's up?
I'm gonna tell you what it is, bro. There's nothing they could have named themselves that people would have liked. There's no Washington football team. There's nothing because you've known them as the Redskins for so long. Anything else is organ rejection. Kids who start watching football in 5 years won't think the Commanders are Seahawks. Can you imagine a team being named the Seahawks starting right now and how they'd get laughed at? You get laughed out of the United States of America. Somebody says, "You're the Seahawks." Like, no.
Not like that.
Hackers? What is that? We hack cheese?
All the connotation, like are y'all good?
No. The Browns? Because the dude's name was Brown?
Name is Brown. The dude's name.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. We got the Smiths.
Oh, man.
There's a lot of dumb names. The Commanders just joined a list of names that are dumb. We've already accepted those names.
I will say this because especially like for me growing up in North Carolina and Virginia, like for the longest time, all I really saw on Fox and CBS was watching. I couldn't stand the uniforms. I low key couldn't stand the name, and I was like, I can't do it. And then like I saw the name change. I saw the units. I was like, you know what? If I wasn't a Raiders fan, I would think about buying some merch. But then I realized y'all still got to get Dan Snyder out the paint. So yeah. Like I said, so hopefully
they should have been the Hogs. The Hogs already had a connotation with Washington. They should have just changed to the Hogs. At least that'd been fun.
Absolutely. To give y'all just a quick general down, like just the craziness. I don't know if y'all saw the story today about Kurt Zuma and kicking the cat.
I saw that like an hour before we did this.
I haven't seen the video. Yeah. Is there video of it?
Yes.
I haven't seen the video yet.
Like that's just wild. And of course, there's been all this backlash, and they played the day.
He's still playing.
And David Moyes was like, "No, he's still playing. Like he's one of our blessed players. Like that cat. Like sorry to that cat because he." Yeah.
But people and their animals, like I'll be surprised if there's no disciplinary action for that.
I'm sure it'll be something, but yeah, that's just wild. And like I said, people just losing their minds right now with I feel like ever since the pandemic started, it's like because we're not out here as like we used to, just out and about. It's like people just out here doing reckless stuff, and like we hadn't had a chance to really touch on the Greenwood stuff. We'll probably do that a little bit next week, but yeah, like it's just a lot of crazy stuff happening, and just remember, just be calm down out here, y'all. Just please, just do that for us. Like take your time and calm down. I'll do a quick round table up or down. Like what you got, Scott?
Up. I ain't gonna do no downs. Up. Michelle Kang on the Washington Spirit, so we over.
Over.
The NWSL got the CBA. So we out here in the streets doing things. They gonna have the capes and we gonna be swag serving that brunch in DC. It's about to be that time. So that's my up. Look at y'all behaving.
Coach, what you got?
Oh dang! I had my full list ready to go. I thought we had.
Man, like we over here running, man.
Do the one.
Dang, I gotta choose one because so much great stuff happened this past weekend. Got my level 3 goalkeeper license coach.
Yes,
so I'm level 3 goalkeeper license coach now. My daughter's birthday. She's 7. Turning
7, Memphis, baby.
Yeah.
And then
tomorrow
Pop was
is Fab 5 Day. What now?
And Pop was yesterday.
Yeah, he's 77. Tomorrow's Fab 5 Day. Real Michigan fans know that was the first time that 5 black star freshmen that started from Michigan. Tomorrow's Fab 5 Day. Hence Black Sock Tat. And shouts out to my boy Mindy win the AFCON Cup. We gotta support the black keepers as always. So that's my ups.
Hey,
Tabillions, what you got?
I kind of piggyback off of that Senegal winning AFCON. I love Senegal from like the 2002 World Cup. So like I've just watched them for the longest, and to like finally see them like win the cup on the stage made me happy. I hope that it doesn't come back to bite them in World Cup qualifying because like it's either them or Egypt goes through again. So, but right now we're going to enjoy this. Right now, the Kings of Africa. So there it is.
And Mr. Kev closes out with give us an up, down, in between. What you got?
Up, it's Caitlin Clark, this basketball player from Iowa. She is cooking. She stepped back 3 from the logo. I mean, it was just. I was like, I ain't seen it done like that. And this was one game.
40 plus on Michigan.
Dog. Sorry, you know what I'm saying, Fab Five. But they wasn't playing.
She dropped 40 plus on Michigan the other night.
Yeah.
Cooking. So she's definitely up for me. Down is Spirit and Frontier Airlines merging to make the world's worst airline.
That one.
I thought people were playing. I didn't think that was a real.
Yo, people gonna be sitting in wings.
I thought it was April 1st, Fool's Day.
Greyhound and Motel 6 merging. Like, now we gonna take over. So, yeah. That's down.
Man, listen, Kev, it's been absolutely outstanding having you on. Like, it's been a great experience. As I said, hopefully we can find some time to do this again and chop it up some more. For like the few billion people who may have never heard of you, like, where can they find you on the socials?
KevOnStage on whatever social media site you're looking at. KevOnStageStudios.com for the app that I built with my team, and KevOnStage TikTok for TikTok.
Absolutely. Again, thank you so much. As always, you can find us on the socials at the FTC.
UT. Oh.
UT.
See, can we get the harmonizing together? Can we do that, please? Yes. It's Facebook, Instagram.
It's never gonna hit.
Instagram, FTC UTD Pod on TikTok. Again, Kev, thank you so much. Of course, make sure that you catch Shea Butter FC at SBFC_podcast. They have a really great episode this week with the Roseman Collective Supporters Group. Again, it's a two-parter. It's a whole lot of good stuff going on in this week's episode. Of course, you can find 2 Cents FC at 2 Cents FC. It's been an amazing episode again. Thank you so much to Kev for
thank you guys, everybody.
But yes, for the whole team, for Coach, for Sky, for Ty, for L, for TK sitting over here behind the monitor over here, Mayor, for Chris, for Mariah, for the whole team. The coach is real. The coach is everywhere. Kids coming out next week, y'all. Get ready, y'all. And and take care of your boos this weekend, Valentine's Day. Hook them up. Take care of your loved ones. We'll see y'all soon, and we out.
FTC UTD.